Howdy and aloha, everyone. It's James with Monotalk. It is March 10th, 2025. I think I said 24 the other time. Anyway, I wanted to show you Miss America. Miss America. Yep, here she is.
Substantial. So just be ready to make sure y'all get ready for that hard impact. And for yours is actually not too bad. It has like
That's not Miss America.
slits and everything like that. So it's actually pretty small, but actually designed really, really well. All right, and then right here in the bottom, y'all can see, hey, in the last 10 years,
There she is.
some of the descent rate.
She's right there over that guy's head. Madison Marsh, Second Lieutenant Madison Marsh. Miss Colorado became Miss America. Pretty cool. She's going to go up in a F-16 FAM flight. She's doing all the training here. Got to learn how to...
One of the,
Oh,
one of the LPs. Yeah. And butters. Yeah.
Your cranium. If you want to take a seat here, we're going to do some measurements to fit you to a helmet. Make sure you get in the right size helmet.
and then for tomorrow, hair-wise.
Yep, so hair is a low pony, low
Okay. Do you want me to take this out?
bun. It will help for whenever
Okay.
we're putting the helmet on for you. Alright, so
She gets all suited up.
you got it nice and we're gonna make sure. So now where you want it to sit is you want it to not sit over your rib cage because that's going to crush your rib cage.
Oh, okay.
So you want it. So you,
That's the pressure suit for the legs that keeps the blood up above towards your heart. And it will squeeze pretty severely depending on the G's that you're pulling.
you want it to be just under your rib cage.
Okay.
Perfect. Yep, just under your rib cage. All right. When the G suit's fully inflated, you want it to not crush into your legs. So we're gonna make sure that you got it nice and.
She's like, oh, nice.
We're gonna make sure you have it nice and loose. Let's help from there.
The person I really want to know about is this girl here. I mean, that's great that an Air Force lieutenant is Miss America. I think that's wonderful. Photo shoot. Back when I was in the Navy, I put my leg inside of a few F-14s, and I'm telling you, it is a very cramped, small space. I just, my leg barely fit in. I was like, how are these guys able? They're basically kind of fitted for them, everything. So whoever's flying this particular aircraft is fitted for them because they move at such crazy speeds and endure serious G-forces and everything else at flight or at combat. But here's there's the girl I want to know about right there, the redhead. Because she's the pilot. She's the actual pilot.
Right, and then this connects to the bottom. So this is what's the hose that's coming from the jet with oxygen. It connects right down there.
There she is. Pretty cool, right? And there she is again. Both of them, both girls. That is some serious technology right there. I'm not going to look it up. I'm just going to say they hit the speed like 2 or 3 times the speed of sound or close to it. And the armament on these things, and I think you can see it here, right here. I mean, this thing's packed right now. It's ready to go. We can go back and see it a little more. Chalk and chain. If you're an airman, you'll know what that means. I've placed and put a lot of chalk and chains in my time. Nice outfit. Watch his hands. He's checking the ailerons. Doing the flight checks probably right now. I don't know why we gotta look at this guy again, but whatever. Look at that thing's packed. It's got some missiles on it, man. And she's gonna take off and she's gonna fly around. There's a low flight right there. She has no idea how hard. She has no idea how hard that is. I mean, they're probably 100 to 200 feet off the ground. That's just not easy. It's not a lot of give. But anyway, I gotta say that's pretty fucking cool. God bless our men and women in uniform. God bless our Miss America, Lieutenant Madison Marsh, second lieutenant, and the captain that's flying this thing is pretty fucking awesome. Let me see this one. That's pretty wild. There'd be a smile on my face, like ear to ear. Ear to ear. You know, I would look like fucking the Joker for sure after I came out of that thing. There are some amazing women out there. There are some amazing, amazing women out there. I've been with a bunch of them. There's been a lot of interesting women out there, and then, you know, men and women, whatever. But and there's some crazy other people out there as well. But what we also have is we have somebody right now that's the White House press secretary. What is her name? Karoline Leavitt, I think it is. Karoline, sweet Karoline. Ba, ba, ba. Wrong spelling, but still is a cool song, right? She's kicking ass. I've got to show you the difference here between this girl and what she's doing compared to a year ago or last year with Pierre KGP or whatever the fuck her name was. And it's just night and fucking day. It's just night and day. The difference, the comparison, the professionalism, the strength, the durability. I don't think Jean-Pierre, whatever freaking, what's her goddamn name? It's Karine Jean-Pierre. Right here, you can see her kind of run it up, and this is what you'll see. This is pretty much the way it always started with the White House briefings with this DEI hire, and she was for sure. She wasn't terrible, but she had her notes and her script, and she had to follow. But she was also given or actually implanted reporters. There were none. There's half the amount in the room now. I mean, excuse me, back then. Back then, there was basically nobody. The place was pretty empty. You can see the difference here. If we go to this top screen, I kind of took a screenshot of that one. And this is it. And there's hardly really nobody in here. You've got a few people in the back. See the door. There's the same door right there. And they're all the way up to the front. They're all the way to the side. This place is packed. And she's fielding questions. And we're talking about Karoline is fielding question after question from everybody. Hostile. And it gets pretty hostile. There are some that will, thank you, Karoline, for being here. I'm glad that we're able to get in, because the last administration wouldn't allow Breitbart. They wouldn't allow Blaze. They wouldn't allow the only somewhat right wing or Republican reporter. I don't have his name in my head. Ducey. Was Fox and maybe one or two others. But this room is packed with tons. And when they first started, they brought back everybody. And and this girl right here at the bottom, there's a guy there doing the same thing. They just sit there and hold out the microphone. You can hear everybody. There's microphones on the left. There's microphones, you guys have watched Saturday Night Live and movies and sitcoms and stuff where the beam pole comes down and all of a sudden out of nowhere, you'll see a fucking microphone come into the picture. Oh, you know what I mean? Kind of looks like this. Out of nowhere, this little microphone. Oh, it's in the way. Get it out of the way. They need that. Just set up the room with some fucking microphones. You can hear everybody really well. You couldn't really hear people here. I've gone through a few of them. Some were given some pretty good time in the past. They had a question, maybe a follow-up question, and that was pretty much it. But this girl, and I'm telling you, by the way, they don't, and you'll see the differences here. When you watch this angle on many of the Pierre's, the DEI hire of the past 4 years, they won't show the desk, but they show it here. Nothing to hide. Zoom in, whatever the fuck you want to do. I'm doing my job. Right? And then it's just fucking amazing. This chick just takes question after question after question. The time difference of them being in the room. Let me see here. So this is pretty similar. It's about 35, 40 minutes. But you've got to understand that everybody in there is pre-selected with a script that's pre-selected with people that are chosen. And this happens in most presidencies. Let's not get too far right here, too, up the yin-yang of the administration that we currently have. But let's just say that everything that this lady said and did, let's just listen to one.
He laid out, right, and I laid out. He normally gets an update from his national security team and also his intelligence team on a daily basis, and that's usually where he gets his update. I cannot speak beyond that.
Any additional requests for security?
I can't speak to anything beyond any request. All I can say is that we are prepared.
One final question. Sure. Is the assessment of the White House that inflation has finally peaked?
So look, I know that I know that CPI data came out today, as I just laid out this morning. Look, So what I will say is that we're making progress on fighting inflation.
Oh, you are?
And that's good news. That's good news for hardworking families. That's incredibly important that we see that. and
No,
we
they
see that
haven't.
in this
They
data.
weren't. It
And
never
I kind of
happened.
said this at the top, but I'll reiterate it here. Annual inflation is at the lowest level that we have seen in
No.
more than.
You know, it's bullshit. Everything was bullshit. It wasn't lower. It wasn't better. Everything this fucking lady said was bullshit.
And paper statements and everything else. So are you guys going to continue to use that terminology going forward?
So, look, I'm not going to get ahead of what the outcome of this might be. The White House counsel certainly is reviewing the opinion, and they will have a routine conversation with OSC, as they should. This is going to be an ongoing process. As you stated, we have used this term many times before. It's nothing new in the context, and the way we use it is in the context of talking about their policies and in talking about their values. That's how we have used this term, and but clearly the White House counsel and to make sure that they are successful in the battlefield, and that's not just us. Supported their efforts, their fight against Russia's aggression, and to fight for their freedom. And so we're going to continue to do that. We know that there are difficult challenges ahead, but we feel that they are prepared. I'm certainly not going to get into military operations or what's going on the battlefield. Again, I'll let Ukraine speak to that. Okay.
Thanks, Karine. I wonder, do you believe that you violated the hashtags with those comments about MAGA Republicans?
So what I can say is at the time, I was given the sign.
Yeah, they violated everything. It was just a fuck. Oh God, it was so terrible. Now listen to this girl when she talks. Let's see if I can get to. Let's just pick somebody here.
Nation. And also, was President Trump expecting this type of behavior when he was crafting that this morning? The president has been very tough on China, not just now.
On tariffs, the president mentioned a little disturbance during his remarks yesterday. The CEO of Target says that consumers will likely see prices go up on everything.
Crystal ball else in this room that it's because of the previous administration's economic policies that Americans were left with record high inflation. Inflation throughout Joe Biden's entire.
Yes, absolutely. And the Democratic supporters still want to blame Trump for everything. They blame Trump even when he was on fucking The Apprentice. You're fired. Right? It's just, God, it's just so crazy. The Trump derangement syndrome is nuts. Let me see. I don't know if this is the one I wanted to show, though. Hang on. Let me get back. I think it was this one. Commercial. Damn it. Okay.
Surprising thing of the night. And unfortunately, that quote did turn out to be true. I think in the state of Maine, as you know, there's ongoing litigation.
Women stood to applaud or support protecting women's spaces and sports at the President's joint session to Congress last night, as you articulately mentioned.
Them, especially women and girls across the country. And I think it's very ironic, thank you for bringing up the point about women, that Democrat women were wearing pink to support our fellow females, yet they couldn't stand again for a young woman who was almost killed and severely injured by a man on the volleyball court. They couldn't stand for the mothers of two beautiful young women whose lives were taken tragically at the hands of illegal people. So you can't say you're the party of women and then support men and women's sports and not stand up for basic law and order and immigration reform that will protect women in this country. That's what President Trump is doing. He's the president for women. Lindsay, good to see you.
Thank you, Caroline. Good to see you. So, speaking of tariffs, China said yesterday that they're ready for any kind of war with the U.S. Because of these tariffs that have been placed on them. And a Chinese spokesperson also said that the tariffs would not lead to a resolution of U.S. concerns about fentanyl originating in China. Can you speak to how the administration is planning on responding to that?
Well, I think
first of all, people in the back, you never really saw anybody get caught. I mean, look at how many people are in it. It's basically almost double. At least a third more or close to half more in here.
Avocados How long should Americans expect to pay higher prices? Are we talking a week, a couple of days, a few months?
Again, I don't have a crystal ball, but what I can assure the American people is that this president and this administration is doing everything they can. And I would remind you and everybody else in this room that it's because of the previous administration's economic policies that Americans were left with record high inflation. Inflation throughout Joe Biden's entire 48 months in office was at or above 3%. It hit record highs, as you know. And there's a whole list of what the Biden economic disaster this president was left to clean up. It's been a month, but he's working hard every single day to do just that.
Follow up on the carve out. Sorry to cut you off there. The U.S. imported 40.
She's so nice. She gets cut off all the time from these reporters. She needs to fucking say, I'd like her to say, look, I've answered 4 of your questions. There's other people in the room. I'd like to give them an opportunity to ask questions. Okay? And I really would like to see her do that.
This issue. Sure. Jordan.
Thanks, Caroline. So what does it say that the Democrats, while they couldn't
shout out last night to say, Brooke, I'm counting on you. It's an important issue. And this White House is working with Secretary of Agriculture every single day to address this issue. Sure. Jordan.
Thanks, Caroline. So what does it say?
Brooke, I'm counting on you. It's an important issue. And this White House is working with Secretary of Agriculture every single day to address this issue. Sure. Jordan.
Thanks, Caroline.
So everybody, at least, I mean, everybody's got a question. Because they're representing a paper or a social media outlet or a podcast now, which they've allowed, or some cable news network, mainstream media bullshit. And everybody has questions, and everybody some people want to try to get the gotcha moment. But she fields, from what I can tell, at least twice as many questions as the other girl did. Twice as many questions as Karine did. It's just amazing. And I actually I wrote it down the other day. I wrote down the amount and the difference. It was at least twice as many or more. Going through as many people as she can, being quick, responsive, giving the answers that she is told to say. This is the way they are. A White House press secretary, what people don't realize, what many don't realize, is a White House press secretary, and I'm not sticking up for Karine or Karoline, their job is to reiterate any of the actions or talking points or whatever the president wants them to convey coming from the president. That's it. Instead of the president being there, which he used to, and sometimes he will show up. And I think that would be a good idea in the future. I think he has maybe popped in a couple times already. I'm not sure. I know Biden, I believe, hasn't. If there is, there's maybe just 4 people there. But their job is just to follow what has been given to them. That's it. And they have to do it in a nice, professional, kind manner. And I'm not saying Karine was never like that. I think she actually did a pretty decent job at that job. However, she didn't get. Here it is. Karine got the softball field. Okay, she got this girls' softball field to navigate through and to take questions from. Karoline gets the major league size baseball field. Taking on everybody. I mean, the entire list of fighters out there, either for or against or with or neutral, whatever the case may be, just popping off questions. And she'll take 3 or 4 questions from somebody, sometimes 5 questions. I counted one time, she counted 6 questions from the same fucking person. I was like, Jesus, woman, don't do that to yourself, because it's going to drain you. It's going to drain you. Even though she has to do it maybe, 5 times a week or whenever is necessary. She may be there, 5 to 6 days a week, but it's only for an hour, anywhere from 45 minutes to an hour. And I've got to say, she's doing a fucking amazing job. She, in my opinion, is Miss America, and she needs to ride on an F-16. She's fucking amazing. I'm not talking about this chick, and I'm not talking about that chick. I'm talking about this chick, and she's young. Well, let me see. How old is Karine? Karine KG Jean-Pierre. Is that her name? Yeah, Karine Jean-Pierre is 50. Age, she's 50, right? Barely was able to keep up. God, 50 years old. And she looks good for 50. And Karoline Leavitt is 27 years old. About half her age. Up there like a fucking bull, just crushing it. Just crushing it. Amazing. Got a new baby, married, you know. Just impressive as all hell. Yeah. It's just fucking awesome. It's just fucking awesome. She's a bulldog, man. But I think she's a little too nice, and she needs to give these people two or three questions, and then next, get through as many people as possible, because there's all kinds of questions out there that we need to be asking, and we should always question authority. That's our job. They work for us. That's their job. They work for us. Let's remember that. As awesome as they all are, as cool as Tulsi is, and as fucking badass as Kash Patel and Exit and all these fucking people, they still work for us. We pay their salaries. We make sure that we put them there to do the job that we ask them to do, to get rid of the fucking waste, fraud, and criminal activity and the abuse of our government, the overreach, the using the justice system against its own citizens. We wanted that. We wanted to get the woke, crazy shit out of our schools, out of our sports. We wanted to get it out of fucking, everything. Leave it in your bedroom, leave it at the corner, at the bar, at the club, wherever you want to fucking do your thing. Right? But keep it away from the fucking kids. Keep it away from the babies, the children. Let them decide. We wanted Maha. We wanted to keep America healthy. Again. Right? That's where we're going back to Tallow. That's where we're questioning all the vaccine shit. That's where we're questioning everything that they've been doing to us for a long time. And the dyes in the food and the poison and the super processed foods. And the list goes on and on and on. Ukraine, God, for God's sakes. The only thing that I'm concerned about, and I'll be honest with you because I brought it up, why is AIPAC or why are both sides so far up Netanyahu's yang? What the fuck is that about? Maybe Netanyahu has the list, the Epstein list. Maybe Netanyahu has a lot of information in regards to a lot of politicians out there that went to the list. There's a lot of blackmail. There's a lot of coercion. There's a lot of greasing. If you don't know what that is, backroom deals, golf course deals, back bar room deals and shit like that with these people. And we're sick of it. We want transparency, right? But I got to say, I really believe that this chick is doing a fucking majorly good job. I'm very impressed. Somebody's going to try to push her buttons. I think she'll hold true. She's 27, for God's sakes. That's fucking amazing, in my opinion, to be in front of all these people that have been in this room many, many times. She goes through as many people as she can. Let me see here. Let's just see what else I got.
They stood for war and clapped for war and clapped for 5 more years of war.
Yeah, the president addressed that last night, I think, when he called out Senator Elizabeth Warren and said...
What I used to hear when they were chosen, and I think I used to hear that back in the 90s and prior, was you would hear Bob Smith here from this Daily Bugle, right? Bob Smith with Daily Bugle and they would say where they're from, right? I think that they should do that today. I remember that used to be the case. They say Tom Brokaw for ABC News or so, whoever. That's going back. That's going back. Brian Gumbel, whatever, all these fucking people out there that have been in the news industry or so-called journalists for a long, long fucking time. But let's just get those names out there. I would like to see that. I would like to see that if they've already asked a question, the first time they get a question, they should state who they are. This is Jim with Montauk. Here's my question. This is Jim with Montauk. Are the right? This is Phyllis from I don't know where Phyllis came from. Phyllis from the Daily Herald. Is there something that we're going to do about that? Right? That's it. I want to fucking hear that. We used to do that a long time ago. I think that would be very important if we started doing it again, honestly. I think that would be fucking awesome. All right, let's see. I haven't looked at the chat. Has the chat got anything? I don't think so. Jordan Ladd, how you doing, brother? I saw Captain America, the movie today. Awesome movie. Nah. I watched it, but I thought it was okay. I watched parts of it. It wasn't really, first of all, there's a lot behind that. The guy that plays Captain America clearly stated that he doesn't really support the word America in the movie. If there's something to that. I've seen his political views. He's definitely a Kamala Harris fan. Not that should mean anything, but that's what Marvel is. If you've watched the Avengers all come together and all vote for, and they were with and supporting Kamala Harris, all of them, fucking, all of them, the whole fucking Captain America, but the real Captain America, Black Widow, and a bunch of other fuckers, we're all supporting Kamala Harris and all this other stuff. I don't know if it's important, in my opinion, here's the question. There are highly adored and praised actors out there. And what we've just found out, like for example, $5 million was a check for $5 million was given. This has been proven. It's proven, and the Democrats and their supporters keep saying it never happened. But it's on paper. It's listed. There's actual documentation that they paid Sean Penn $5 million to go give his Oscar to Zelensky. And they paid $2 million to have Ben Stiller go out there. If you're going to be political, I'm okay with that. Gal Gadot or fucking Scarlett Johansson or whatever. But once you start receiving money from one side or the other to promote, like Beyonce got paid a big chunk of dough, that was proven, to go out, and then they made it appear, and they were telling people that she's going to go out and perform at a Kamala Harris rally, but she didn't. She fucking got done with her little supporting, I'm supporting, I'm with, and she was there for 3 minutes. Maybe it was like 3 minutes of blah, 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 boom, and she took a beeline out the door. Didn't take autographs, didn't hang around, didn't high-five anybody. Yeah, Jesse Ventura rolled over, though, dude. There's a lot behind that. when COVID came, he rolled over. He bent over just like Bernie did. And it was sad to watch because I was watching it in real time because I was right there with him. As a matter of fact, I had indirect conversations with him because I helped the guy that was going to bring him into the Green Party. I paid for his fucking gas to go out and drive to see him while I was working. I forgot his name, but he went out and talked to him, and then he gave the Green Party the finger because they were going to go with Howie Hawkins. And we know how that went. That was a fucking giant fiasco. That was just the biggest scam and ripoff. The Green Party is not worth anybody's time. You know, I had Bram on here yesterday chomping away at the chat, but the Green Party is never going to be the answer because they will never want to be anything but the dog catcher, as Stevie at Redneck Economics used to say, or city council member. There's lots of mayors, there's lots of fucking dog catchers, there's lots of city council members, there's lots of little this and little that. But what I tried to do is try to get one of them, just one, invest your 300,000 people out there to put at least $1 into one person. And it was this Hispanic, Rodolfo Cortez, I think, Rodolfo, who was running out of LA, 19th or 18th district. I was trying to help him. I was passing out flyers for him, doing what I could, and I tried, because he had the best chance of anybody, especially in Los Angeles. He had a really good following, right? He had a really good following, and everything was just lined. I said, everybody, stop everybody else, fuck everybody else. I said, you don't have the resources. You don't have the momentum. You don't have the publicity. You've already fucked over Jesse Ventura. And they fucking said, no, we're just going to stick with dog catcher and city council members. It was disgusting. Dr. Shiva, he didn't listen to me either. I said, Dr. Shiva, you've got to get in. And when you get in, then you can start doing the things that you want to do. But he and his ego, and you can see he's got an ego, and he deserves that ego. I'm going to tell you right now. Dr. Shiva deserves his ego. I think he's a brilliant man. He wants to do some great things for this country. It's just that it's not going to happen now. I don't think the voting system is going to be the same in the next primary, and I don't think the Democrats are going to be anything. I keep telling Zach and my really good Chad, Sir Chad, I keep telling them to start getting your Emerald Party together. You know, start pushing that. And I reposted something that Zach put out. I thought it was a good idea because the Demoncratic Party is not going to be around after 2025. If Trump and his cabinet, his administration, the team, could, Tulsi, all it's going to take is pretty much Kash Patel, you know, and whoever the CIA director is, to go in and get the information. Just go in and get it and just show it. What the fuck have the Democrats done to this country? And what they were about to do. And I always got to remind people that still hate Trump and they've got Trump derangement syndrome. And I get it. Nobody fucking likes this guy because he worked his ass off when he was a kid. He did what his dad told him to do. He got good fucking grades. He was in the high school military brigade or something like that. You know, he wasn't the perfect person, but he basically did everything that he was asked to do from his dad and his grandfather, who was a fucking a barber who worked in a parlor in New York. Right? They came from humble beginnings, that family, and then they became more than what you could imagine. Chad's always been great. I wish he'd come on. I would do what I can to support him. He's always done some great stuff. The only thing that I need them to do, if they do what they're going to do, is if they go after Trump, it's not going to work. Remember, I said that. Whatever party that you want to create to take over the Democratic Party, which there's going to be opportunity, especially for the liberal part, not the liberal, but the independents, not the independent party. It'll come to me. But we're talking about other prospective parties that actually have a chance. You know, the People's Party was stupid, and then what was the guy, Jackson Hinkle, created the fucking Communist Party of America. I was like, what the fuck is wrong with you, dude? What the fuck is that? That was like, it came out, they had a bunch of flags, they were all marching, they were doing the fucking Fed March, or just like those, the Aryan people that do that shit. And it was amazing that they got behind that name. That's exactly what this country has never been about, is communism. The next step of socialism. Communism. The next step of tyrannical authoritarianism. That's the process. And now they came out with the Communist Party of America. When I fucking first saw that, dude, I was like, what the fuck? What the fuck? Look, if you remember the Tea Party, let me just say, I'm going to look at it, the Tea Party. When was the Tea Party created? I want to see that. The Tea Party movement, 2007. The Tea Party movement was an American fiscally conservative political movement within the Republican Party that began in 2007. All right, I'm going to put a list of all the parties. List of all American political parties. Here we go. Let's look at the image. I think it's this. I know I have one of them here. It shows pretty much all of them. This one's put apart. There's a bunch of them. There's a bunch of fucking whatever. Let me see. American Delta Party. I don't know what the fuck that is. Peace and Freedom Party was kind of cool. Oh, the Bull Moose Party looks pretty fantastic. I wanted to start the Buffalo Party. Right? Or what do I want to start? The Independent Bison Party, I think. Or the Bison Party. Something similar to that. Democrats, Republicans down here. Let me see, the Green Party has still got the dumbest fucking logo. The Mountain Party, which is part of West Virginia, they're aligned with the Green Party. Let's just look. Democratic Party, Republican, Libertarian. That's what I meant to say. Libertarian Party. Green Party, Constitution Party, Reform Party, Socialist Party, Jesus, Liberty Union Party, Progressive Party, American Independent Party, Know Nothing Party, Free Soil Party, okay. Populist Party, People's Party, that was the People's Party, right? The Progressive Labor Party, Independent American Party, and I think those are most of them, right? I think those are most of them. So there's some competitors out there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 30. There's 32 fucking parties. And the only one that I think is going to get up there, the only one that we don't, let me put it this way. I don't think we know if there's going to be a need for another party. And the reason why I say that is because I've always been an advocate of what George Washington wanted. George Washington always wanted independence, right? He's always wanted independence. This is how he rolls. He goes, and I've said this before in here, I'll keep saying it again. What's up, bro? What's up? What's up? I have already intimated to you the danger of parties in the state, with particular reference to the founding of them on geographical discriminations. Let me now take a more comprehensive view and warn you in the most solemn manner against the baneful effects of the spirit of party generally. It's polarizing, and it still is. And that, you know, that's a divide. He knows about the divide and conquer tactic that's out there. It's been around for a while. They still use it to this day. Right? That's the process. Get them fighting each other. There's just a lot of information in here, but it's going to be hard to see another party coming in, because the Democratic Party was a lie. They never did anything they promised they were going to do. Nothing. Right? What's going to happen, I hope soon, and it's going to take some time, is I think soon Ian Carroll is just amazing. Anonymous groups tried to cancel Ian Carroll. They must be new here, so we're changing venues and pushing back to date. More details to come. Going to be even bigger and better than before. Stay tuned. Okay. I guess he made a little deal with Rogan, because this guy Ian Carroll was just on with Rogan the other day. The guy does a lot. He's got some amazing content and information. It's pretty impressive. Ilhan Omar is very upset over Representative Brando Gill calling for her deportation. Yeah, she does. She's a fucking total, just, God. Let's follow the money here. What do we got? Who's funding these Tesla attacks? Yeah, we already know about that, Josh. And there's fuck you, Kyle Kalinske, resign. Hakeem Jeffries, you were unfit to lead. Yeah. Yeah, good. I hope this is what I want to see with the Democratic Party. I want to see them go through, but they're all so... Oh, here's a good point. And I was thinking about this the other day. And actually, it's good that I just saw this. Because Kyle Kalinske is a piece of shit. He's totally changed. He's a piece of shit. We know that. Okay. But what I want to stress here is the Democratic Party is quickly losing their influence. They're losing their leverage. They're losing their resources with USAID and all the money that they used to get with these blank checks for this, that, and the other thing, and the money would come back around and fall into the pockets of the either the lobbyists that are then paying the congressperson, or male congressman or woman, or however that grifting money laundering scam was working. It's gone. It's going away. So they're not going to be relevant, and they're going to be useless. And what that means is some of them may start to do something actually in the favor of maybe leaning more towards what Donald Trump is doing. You know, it was so weird that when Kamala Harris said that she copied Donald Trump on no tax on tips. Like nobody heard Trump talk about it. Like 330 million people didn't fucking hear Donald Trump talk just a week or so prior that he wants no tax on tips. And then she comes out, I'm going to do no tax on tips. It was just the most ridiculously dumbest fucking thing I've ever, nobody knew. And I'm sure there were some Democrat supporters out there that were like, oh my God, she's going to get rid of the tax on our tips. That's so awesome. And then somebody comes up to them and they say, Trump already said he was going to do that. And some other things that she was copying him about. Well, that could be the future of the Democratic Party. They may have to follow some of these policies and some of these initiatives and even some of these executive orders, in a sense, and the core value of the American people that just blew the doors off of the Democratic Party in November 5th of 2024. They're going to have to do something because the way that they're going, it's not working. Somebody's, and people are starting to say, there's a lot of fucking Democrats who are just like, you know, that guy Montauk or James Young with on Facebook, he's kind of right. I mean, I've got people that are saying it now. There are people that even though when I first started my Facebook and I had close to 5,000 people on there because there was I was a Democrat at the time and then Green Party and all this other shit. And then in 2018-19, I just said, you know what is this Russiagate thing? Why do they keep fucking going after Donald Trump? What the fuck is going on? So I did a lot of research and I found out that Trump is not in the fucking, he's rogue. He's actually the rogue man. Kind of like Ross Perot was. He was a threat too. And by the way, I voted for Ross Perot. But here's the thing. They either have to start leaning towards Trump's policies, which really isn't right wing or too conservative, honestly, in some cases. But they need to start doing something for everybody that wants of course, the border to be protected. But I just don't think people are going to forgive them of what they tried to do to this country. That's the thing. I just, you guys know this. They almost handed our country over to the global predator class. The World Economic Forum, ETAL, and alike, and all those fuckers. They almost did that. They still want to give $78 trillion by 2030 to John Kerry and fucking Al Gore and the scam and the lie of climate change. And how that one black lady that was on Star Trek just got busted. She just, what the fuck is her? I can't get her name. You sure could go. Well, I'm shadow banned, bro. Just the other day I had 160 views. And it was pretty high for a long time. And then all of a sudden I have 16 views. It just doesn't make any sense. I know that YouTube hates me. And you know why YouTube hates me is because this is my 5th YouTube channel. And nobody has a fucking clue what that feels like to get all your content taken from you. Nobody knows. Because it's not happened. Didn't happen to Convo Couch. Didn't happen to fucking, what was his name? Lamar and a few other people. Didn't happen to a lot of people. Brian Christian, it happened to him. I know the feeling. It happened to James Corbett. I know they know what the feeling is, but he didn't stop. And I'm not stopping. I want people to know what the fuck is going on with this country and the world. And I am concerned about my kids, and I'm concerned about their kids and everybody's kids in the community and the village I'm in, the county I'm in, the state I'm in, and definitely my country, for sure. I want everybody to have, the First Amendment rights, which I think are so important. Look, I've already said I'm suing right here this YT channel that I'm currently on right now. For sure, there are going to be some people that are going to jump in with me, and we're going to go after them. But I really am surprised that the Trump administration isn't really touching YouTube when YouTube was pretty much their greatest enemy. It just doesn't make any sense. I think what's important to know is the Trump administration going to go after YouTube, Google, their greatest enemy? if there's any enemy that the Trump administration should go after, at least the top 5, it's probably in the top 3. It's Google. It's fucking YouTube. It's fucking, Zuckerberg went and talked to him and kissed his ass, and Apple's kissed his ass, and everybody's kissing his ass now. Here, kiss my ring and all that other shit. But I don't think YouTube has. I know the content's been freeing up a lot lately on a lot of stuff that I've said about this, that, and the other thing. I'm surprised I'm still fucking here, honestly. But they have been shadow banning. I mean, if you look at my channel, you can see right here. Let me just go to some of my recent lives. For example, it went from 160, 170, it went from 5 views, 35. This is fucking just strange. I didn't do anything different. I go from 5 views on an hour. Most of my stuff's about an hour. And I went from 5 views to 174, another 174 just a few days later, 46 views, 160 views, 88 views, 80 views, and then all of a sudden I would drop down again to 20 views, to 19, to 16, to 14. It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any fucking sense. Look, I could see. Let me go back in this. I've always had just a very small amount of views because, again, this is my 5th channel because of the Orwellian, tyrannical, authoritarian community guidelines that this platform has provided, taking away and stripping me of my First Amendment rights. Basically, I think I would have had 27 views on one of these. That was 4 months ago. That was like the most. And then all of a sudden people started watching. I don't know where what did I do differently? Did I post it somewhere on somewhere? I don't know. But anyway, and I've got a few comments here and there and all that stuff, but a lot of people can contact me via Twitter, via Facebook. Go check out my Odyssey, and go check out a few of my other channels that I have, which I don't really care about. I don't really care about Rumble right now. I don't really care about Odyssey right now. I should be stacking these on other platforms, but I keep a copy of a cloud of this anyway, so I got to catch up on that for sure. I've got about I at least got about 6 months to catch up on. I got to start putting on Odyssey. Okay. Anyway, listen, everybody, thank you for being on. Thank you for listening. Thank you for paying attention. All I got to say is Karoline Levine is fucking badass. It's not an easy job for a 27-year-old. And that 50-year-old didn't do a bad job. It's just that she was a DEI hire. Let's just and she didn't do a bad job. Not too bad of a job. But she was fucking definitely a DEI hire. Crowdy Rupp says Taylor Greene gets up and humiliates Ilya no more. Oh yeah, fuck that chick. What's this? Boobs from single over 30. Okay, there we go. All right. There's a lot of interesting stuff on the internet. Lots of fucking interesting shit. But I wanted to go into social media real quick, but first, let me just go here. Go over a couple things. There's me. I'm live. Hey. All this stuff I've already done. Let's see what I've gotten new on Facebook. I don't think I've got anything Facebook here. Let me check here, and if I don't, here's my Facebook channel that I just got back. Change my profile picture. There it is. I talked about the measles the other day. There's the fly of the girl. Yeah. Before seed oils. Before seed oils. Isn't that crazy? That's the way it was, people. Nobody was fucking fat in the 70s. And these little skimpy baby suits were really interesting. The pesticides and stuff in our food. When I talked about this, as I've been stating that the Biden administration began illegitimately, and everything that they've done was a gigantic lie, especially here with auto pen pardons are now all null and void. Yeah, while he's on vacation, he's signing documents. Just letting you know. That's what Joe Biden is doing. While he's on vacation, he's signing documents. Does that make sense to you? No, because it doesn't. Because he's full of shit. Because he's the lie. He's been the lie for a long time. What's this one? That's a good one. What's this? Over 20 years ago, the mainstream media basically told everybody that the flu shots are all full of shit. And then they decided to put this in the archive so that you wouldn't realize or find out that these vaccines and flu shots and all these medications that they've been giving you and or shoving down your throat, injected into your body, into your butt for decades is crap, shit poison. I'm Mr. Run-On Sentence. I'm telling you right now. Recent actual research and equivalent providing facts that it's always been the food we've been eating. It's always been the chemicals and the metals that they've been spraying in the air for at least a decade. And it's always been the water we've been drinking that has created massive obesity, record diabetes, and Alzheimer's and autism and cancer and fucking all kinds of deadly fucking illnesses. I warned everybody of this once I did the research back in early 2020 that the Demoncrats and Republicans via their globalist masters, there's no R there, are methodically trying to kill you. Because healthy, vibrant human beings that use holistic and natural non-damaging ingredients to heal themselves doesn't make money for big pharma. It doesn't make any money for big hospital. It doesn't make any money for big elderly care. It doesn't make any money for big psychology, which is huge. And big chemical, which is where all this shit comes from, and the corrupt shithead politicians that don't give a fuck about you and get greased from these companies. And for all you Bill Gates and World Economic Forum and John Kerry and Al Gore climate change depopulation klansmen that are waiting for $78 trillion to be put in your fucking pockets by 2030 will soon be in prison along with Fauci, ETAL. Yeah. So what was this about here? Open a new tab. It was YouTube. I think it was Jimmy Dore. I think it was a Jimmy Dore segment. Not coming up. All right, forget it. But yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on. There's a lot of things that people don't really understand yet. But, just ask me and I'll tell you. You're welcome to come on as well, and I'll give you the information that I know. I will give you the documents. I will show you the emails. I'll show you the videos. I'll give you everything. I've got all kinds of shit. I have it in clouds. I've sent it to people. I've got it on shows. I've got it in place. It's always going to be there. I do have people that do actually have my passwords that can expose that stuff. So just to let you know, just so everybody fucking knows, I am not suicidal. I have never, I am not. Yes, I've had rough days where I'm just like, man, today would be that day if that was that day. I've had rough days, right? Everybody's had rough days. But there's no way in hell with the blessing that I have from my daughters, my sons, my grandkids, the people I'm around, my friends, my neighbors, my coworkers. I'm very blessed. Even though the bills keep piling up, even though fucking eggs are fucking $6. You know, I'm blessed, and I'm very thankful for that, and I appreciate it all. And I think Trump will get us out of this for sure, because it definitely is not going to be Jill Stein or this chick right here, Alyssa Sakharov, former CIA agent. Oh yeah, definitely not her. Not these people here. Meet the modern day axis of evil. Yeah, that's right. The World Economic Forum, the United Nations, the World Health Organization. That's it. Myself and Liz Churchill have been here for a while, and I think I kind of alerted her to a lot of the stuff that she's now pushing like crazy. She's cute too. You know, there's Larry Fink, Bill Gates, Yuval Harari, Fauci, and of course your favorite Dr. Evil, the Dr. Evil, Klaus Schwab. And of course I shared that. That was good. Oh, Stacey Abrams, right. $2 billion. She was given $2 billion. She admits it. And she's going to be in trouble. Because they're going to show that. And then I showed this. These guys, this is one of the biggest productions I've ever seen. I've never seen so much energy, time, and money spent on a fucking sketch than that. And they were really trying to praise the fact that the satanic movement was trying to keep this girl from lying. That was the point. Which was really odd. Not odd, it's just telling. It's just telling. This look, they're Demoncrats for a reason. Here's a good picture. If you ever want that picture, let me know. But they aired that on 3/8/25. There's another one of my wonderful shows. I know hopefully you're not enduring that. There's some fucking stupid people still out there. Doge is kicking ass. All right, that's pretty much it. I'm going to say aloha to everybody. Thank you for being here. I went through some social media, talked about Karoline and Karine and Miss America. God bless her. God bless the Air Force and our military personnel in all 5 or 6 branches now. Space Force. Oh, Space Ghost. You know what I want to be for Halloween? I want to be Space Ghost. I swear to God. I think I could be a great Space Ghost. I just need to lose a little bit around the belly. A little bit around the belly. Anyway, thank you all for listening. This is James with Monotalk. I just want to say aloha, bye-bye, mahalo.